At a time when there was simply no hope, FDR offered hope. And one of the great things, especially about Busby Berkeley's musicals, was when you sat there and watched one of Berkeley's musicals, it was impossible to think about your problems. There was such a visual overload coming at you, such an amazing explosion of images that you had to forget about your problems. Production code was instituted in 1930 in a desperate attempt to answer calls for decency in film from the American public. For the first 3 or 4 years, the studios didn't just ignore this, they prided themselves on how well they could ignore and even flaunt the production code. But then the Catholic Church formed the Legion of Decency, and suddenly it was important to meet the production code in all of its intricacies. And that's why by 1934, things that were possible in 33 suddenly could no longer be done on screen.
In the shadows, let me come and sing to you.
The Shadow Waltz. I would love to know where Berkeley got the imagination to come up with that number. Talk about a definitive cinematic moment. 60 dancers at work with violins outlined in neon. Where did he get the imagination to do that? This is why he was a genius. He was able to think where no person had thought before. These were films very specifically designed for their time and for the audiences of their time. We don't know the fear that they had, and please God, we never will. We don't know the sense of hopelessness that some of them were suffering from at that time. What we do appreciate is the spectacle, the fun, the sometimes bizarre touches that Berkeley throws in. We appreciate the imagination, the sheer visual creativity of these films. But I don't think we could ever begin to feel what those audiences felt in the 30s.